Hello and welcome to the B Button episode 10. Here we go. Yeah! I'm always G'd up at the beginning of this. I don't know if I quite carry the energy all the way through, but here we go.
Eager to start at least.
Yeah, I am chomping at the bit this week. We've got some hot topics. And as always, joining me, Link.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
How's your week going, Mark? Busy with the gaming?
There's been a lot of gaming going on, that's all I can say. But joining us this week, also, we've got the Red Eye Jedi.
Good afternoon.
Welcome back. You're becoming like a staple dietary need on the B Button now.
Yeah, like caffeine.
Yeah.
Can't live without it. It destroys your insides.
Yeah, but we don't tell ourselves that. We just get caught in that black goodness. Man, I love a strong coffee, but no more tangents this week. We're going to make a concerted effort, aren't we, to try and be a little bit more on topic.
Try to, at least.
Yeah, okay. So gaming-wise, what have you guys been up to? Link, what have you been playing?
Mainly a bit of The Division, and obviously touched a bit of the old GTA back on that. Obviously there was a little update last week.
Yeah, expensive update.
yeah, but again, it's as is always the way. It's good to jump back in and have a little blast around Los Santos.
Yeah, we did a bit of modding, didn't we?
You did a bit of spending, but I sort of just sat in the car and tried to sway your decisions.
Make it a Donkermobile. Some fat world monster. Yeah, that's cool.
How about yourself? What have you been playing?
GTA for that little bit with you, and after that it's mostly been The Division, just taking up my gaming week.
So what levels are you pushing up to now?
Level 15, coming to level 25 in Dark Zone. Sorry, level 30 and level 25 in Dark Zone. So,
nice.
Yeah, been pushing at it. What about you, Jedi? What have you been gaming this week?
Back on Alien Isolation, trying to finish that one off, and Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Mortal Kombat.
I thought you did it, Alien Isolation.
No, I never finished it. It was one of those, I got quite far in and you just kind of get bored, don't you? It was all those androids. It was tedious, so I used a guide, got past that, and now I was going to finish it off, get the achievements.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Achievements. Yeah, that's a little segue for later.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's bust over to our Bullet Bill's Big Three. Boom! It's Bullet Bill's Big Three. I love a bit of news when there is some, and this week's not been too bad.
Yeah, it started off a bit slow, but yeah, it started picking up.
So, first bullet hole, what we got, Link?
Well, there was something that popped up at GDC, something by Kotaku, and the mention of an upgraded PS4, a PS4.5 or PS4K, if you will.
Really?
Yeah, obviously you've got new microprocessor technologies and manufacturing that's all starting to come in next year, and yeah, there's talk of potentially a new sort of PS SKU.
It's a bit early in the day, isn't it, considering they've only just got a new console out?
Well, it's a few years old now, and it's already
three?
sort of, yeah, I think it's coming up to 3, isn't it, this year? Yeah, it'll be sort of November, isn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know, you bought it. You're the one who bought one.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's behind my TV. I've forgotten about it.
But no, there's a few bits that could potentially sort of come about from it. I mean, I don't think it's enough that it's going to be like some 4K 60 frames a second monster that's...
It's not going to happen.
No, I can't see that happening. But basically, I think it's going to sort of maybe be used as a bit of a supplementary boost for VR to try and get the quality of that up, maybe.
And maybe they can have it like PC gaming, where you can sort of set the levels to high and ultra, and maybe it'll be sort of edging on that a bit.
It's either that, or it's more of just sort of like a media thing, so it's more better outputs, because obviously you could have like the old HDMI 2.0s for the 4K.
Yeah.
Obviously there could be the stuff to enable 4K streaming as well.
This is going to end up like the Nintendo 64, where you buy like a little red memory expansion thing. And
well, there has been talk from Microsoft as well about sort of an upgradable modular console.
The other's going to have to, aren't they? They need to be completely backwards compatible from this point onwards.
That's what would help with the that sort of thing. But then it becomes basically PC gaming.
But then I think Microsoft are in a strong position to do that, because if they had an upgraded one from the backwards compatibility point of view, if you can have sort of PC style games on there, your Xbox One games plus your 360 back catalogue all on one system that can pump out the graphics. Maybe they're going to go for sort of 1440 resolution. You know, I mean, that's still a nice big upgrade, and it makes quite a big difference to what 1080 looks like on a big screen.
They've got to. I don't know if they're selling enough units. Have they got to do something about it, or?
I don't know. I think when you're talking, maybe in a couple of years, once they've got that VR settled, and everyone's complaining about how it needs to be a bit more closer to
I don't think it's going to be a couple of years. I think it's going to be a matter of months before the shine of the actual VR wears off, because there's not that many uses for it that you can see, and as soon as that's gone, you're looking at games that are sort of a bit better than PS3 looking, some worse, and
It's
especially when I know a PC version is very expensive and an Oculus is expensive, and you've got to have a decent graphics card, blah blah blah. But what they're going to be putting out in 6 months to a year to what the PSVR, there's going to be a very distinct gap, which at the moment no one thinks about because none of it's out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know what the likelihood of it doing it. It's all a bit of the rumour mill at the moment.
It's sort of been obviously outed by Kotaku. Eurogamer has kind of corroborated it. Obviously, they went in a bit more in depth to what could potentially be, talking about when this, like I say, all these microprocessor manufacturing cycles and starts to come down. All, like I say, it's a lot more in depth than we're prepared to go really here.
I think if one of them does it, the other one will have to as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's
I just hope they're not just like doing like a pissing match with each other at the moment.
Of course they are.
Yeah. Okay, well, moving on to our second bullet hole for this week. It's the Division and the Bullet King exploit.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
R.I.P. Bullet King.
Yeah.
Hashtag R.I.P. Bullet King. I'd imagine it's probably about.
Yeah, I mean, it was tweeted, wasn't it? They put a picture up of the Bullet King. So those who don't know, what this is on the Division, they found an exploit where you could basically walk out of your safe house, turn right, turn left, and be stood next to a boss that would drop some high-end shit. So everyone was just like killing the boss, leaving all the guys around him, going in, coming out, killing the boss. Some people did it for hours.
Yeah. What day was it, Mark?
Well, it was anyway, whatever day it was.
Yeah. The day before that it was going to be patched out.
Yeah.
There was a little quick invite to a party.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a favour?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Could you possibly put me into your game world?
Yeah. I've accidentally fucked up.
Yeah. I've killed him. So I went on about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that. I just dropped in for 10 minutes, wasn't it?
And I went to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I rinsed that exploit all day. That was some hardcore gaming.
What do you get from that gun?
I'm just walking around like some pimp in that game now. Everything's gold, just like gold guns, gold this, gold that. Yeah, it was rinsed, but they patched it and it's gone.
How's the Dark Zone looking now?
Yeah.
Have you played it much since?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Knocking out much more?
Not noticeably.
No. So it's one of those sort of, we've increased the percentage drop rates, sort of like it's the 0.002% increase.
Yeah, exactly.
So the incremental bullshit.
You won't notice it. Yeah, exactly that. Cool. So what's our third bullet hole for this week? Jedi.
No, I was going to say, sorry, there was just one last thing. I really apologise, Mark. I know you don't like me interrupting, but there was someone paid really good tribute. You said Ubisoft did, but someone actually went out into New York and placed a bag and a poem at the site of the Bullet King. That's taking it real world.
That's going too far, I think. If you're getting to a point where you're
but
going
luckily he remembered to take the bag with him. That could have caused some problems later on.
Yeah, especially if you're putting names around like the Bullet King. Yeah. Right, so Jedi, what have we got for our third bullet hole?
We've got a dashboard update on the Xbox One.
Yay!
You can now buy your 360 games in the gold section and claim your games of gold games from the 360 from the games of gold bit for the 360 games.
Finally.
Yes, and the achievements list at the side is back Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Double tap, you can go straight in. It's just like the other one. You've got a brief description.
Yeah, that kind of makes it for me. That one.
Yeah, it's got me right back into achievements.
There's a couple of other new bits as well. 16-player party chat.
Yes,
that's been increased by another 4.
Wow.
Obviously, is it Mike Ybarra, the head that's running it all? Yeah, he was trying to say he was looking to sort of get 64-player chat like Battlefield. Not necessarily. But just imagine a Battlefield
screaming match, isn't it, on Star Wars Battlefront. I really want some folders. I need to clean up the games library. I don't like. I mean, I know we've got pins, but I've got so many now downloaded.
Yeah.
I don't like the 2-line.
No.
Give us some nice case rolls and something nice. It needs to be. It's about time.
We've got the Twitch party chat output now.
So you can,
when you stream, you can obviously have all of your party can be involved.
Again, could get messy.
Especially with old Mace if he was to get involved. We should get him out in the world.
That's not. Yeah.
And also another one that I was really interested in was customizable game DVR length. Customizable, sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So you can. I
think it's obviously the record now. I think you can extend it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's hour longer, I think. Actually, you can do quite long periods of time.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that was really needed actually.
Whereabouts do you do this?
Hit the settings. Hit your settings.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, that's a pretty important one.
Yeah, I'm always after that. So it still records backwards. So you do a record and then it will go back maybe 10 minutes or
longer.
I don't know if I'd imagine it's like on the game DVR. It will be you can sort of the end record now when you actually go through the app. But when you do the double tap or the Xbox record now, I think it's still up to like a minute, maybe 2. I did have a look earlier. I didn't actually take
seconds.
Yeah, just to be able to set it just a bit more or less is quite good.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Cool. So I don't know.
Time to get into that beef.
Yeah. All right, let's go get beefy. Let's go get chiefy. Okay, it's time to get that beef out, boys and girls. It's time to beat the meat on what's the beef chief. Yeah. So, starting off for our beef this we've got a bit more beef usually this week.
I was going to say there's a few helping to beef.
Yeah, it's a few servings. What is our first bit of beef then, Link?
Well, Microsoft, they've obviously backpedaled a bit after it, but they've put a company associated with Microsoft, obviously some PR company or focused testing company, put out a survey asking some Reddit users if they'd be interested in trading in some of their digital titles for a percentage back.
Sounds reasonable. Sounds like a reasonable question.
Yeah, but when it was only 10%, like less than market, like even less than GameSpot or like Gamewood.
It's like a $5 back.
Yeah.
For a £50 game.
That's atrocious.
Bit cheeky. Yeah.
Rather keep it.
So
how did the community react?
Well, again, I think we sort of pretty much summed it up when we was chatting about it earlier in the week, Mark. I mean, it's just that is a proper slap in the face.
Yep.
It's completely fucking ridiculous.
They just need to sort out game sharing. That's, you should be able to. I know you can set your home with another friend and have access to each other's digital library, but you should be able to have, I don't know, a group of friends of accounts, because they had something like that before the whole DRM thing right at the start.
The fiasco, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, family and friends and sharing, because.
That's what Sony took the piss out of.
Yeah, I know, this is it. But I've gone completely digital, and the idea that I could, say, loan you a game, check this out, it's a new game, it's brilliant. Well, I can't do that because I've gone completely digital.
Yeah. There was that idea, wasn't there, that you could basically say, I'm loaning this license to somebody, they play it for a period of time, and you can't play it during that.
You can.
We've tackled the problem for Microsoft instantly. Remember, they heard us. They had us before with Lionhead.
Yeah.
We've got the scoop for you, Microsoft. Yeah. Like game trials, though.
Yeah.
Like, you've bought a copy of the game, you've got 5, 6, 10 game trials. Here you go, here's an hour's worth of the game.
But just like...
Come and join me for an hour. Like,
yeah, but then you're heading towards like the share play and everything, the PS4. I think it needs to be like an expanded version, because Microsoft acknowledged the get around of, say, I would set your console as my home and vice versa, and then we've both got access to our entire digital libraries. I think they just need to expand on that. It's not going to hurt them in any way. Yeah, you've got to have some sort of constraints on it, but I don't think sort of 10 hours worth and limiting it like that. I think you should be able to just lend the game out.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got Xbox Gold, an extra sort of premium version of that. Like, it's twice as much a year, and you can share between friends.
I don't think that would go down very well, though. I mean, they're winning back favour at the moment, aren't they? I mean, look at the Games with Gold lineups. You know, it's...
Well, it's funny, actually, because you've just touched on my bonus beef for this week. My bonus beef that I'm just going to throw into the mix right now is, why the fuck is Xbox Games with Gold so shit compared to the PlayStation Plus?
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say vice versa.
No way. The games that on PlayStation are just so much better.
They're all
quantity.
Indies. You get 4 a month on the Xbox.
It's not about quantity though. It's quality. Yeah. I've said this for ages, because I remember PS Plus was amazing on PS3.
Yeah, but it's not anymore though. I mean, what have you got this month on PS4?
I must admit, I don't know what's on this month actually. But I know, like Rocket League, for example, I had on PlayStation Plus ages ago.
Yeah, but if you've only got a PS4, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really know, you only get 2 playable games. You can't get the Vita and the
No, you can
PS3
download them all,
ones.
but like with...
Can you play them on the PS4 though?
So a lot of them you can.
Yeah.
But there'll always be like one which is just for the Vita.
Yeah. So you get them, but they, from what I read, again, correct me if I'm wrong, they all tend to be sort of old PC indie games.
There's a lot of indie games in there, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of big name titles as well, which surprises me, like, you know, Battlefields and stuff like that. And you're yeah, you just don't see that on on the Xbox at all.
I mean, they've kind of this month is the first time we've seen in ages for Xbox that they've got some big games that aren't really, really old.
All
that 7 years old.
The last AAA was Tomb Raider Definitive, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that's... I mean, they've got Sunset Overdrive. And
you kind of knew that was always going to be part of the deal.
But the 360 ones are getting better. That Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Oh, I hadn't played that. Been enjoying that. We've got Dead Space this month and Saints Row.
Saints Row 4, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
I enjoyed 3. That was really good.
See, I haven't played another one that sort of passed me by, so I'm enjoying my 360 ones at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so look, let's hit up our third beef this week, because we've squeezed 3 bits of beef in.
Yeah.
And this one being about VR. And
you can always see your lip and the nose turning up there, Jedi.
So, I guess the question is VR just is it going to become a gimmicky item which is just sat on your shelf? Are you spending a lot of money on something that you're never really going to use?
Yeah.
Is it really going to take off?
Nope.
No, they're just
there you go.
What throughout the entire history of gaming, what peripheral, apart from a game controller, has stood the test of time?
I must admit,
it was only a couple of weeks ago I said I want my guns back.
A good fun example.
A couple of years of Wii remotes, Kinect.
Well, the Wii remote
cameras.
was the sort of resurgent, sort of the light gun.
It was big and it lasted for a couple of years, and that now no one plays a Wii anymore. No one's interested in one of those. Everyone goes back to a control pad. I mean, I remember when before Kinect came out, or was it Project Natal or something? The hype, it looked amazing, standing in your front room being a Jedi. Yes. And then you do it, and it's and I'm just, when you look at the games on the PS4 version compared to what the PC is going to be pumping out, it's just going to be
I know it's going to be somewhat.
I think it's shine wears off. And I watched a video the other day. I forgot to say about this. The field of vision on it.
It's not as good. No.
It's apparently you can actually see the borders. You know, you're aware of the black borders down the side, which I think kind of defeats the point of VR, doesn't it? Really.
I think what it is Oculus is 130 degrees field of view.
Yeah.
And I think the PlayStation VR is 110.
Yeah. See, I mean, I haven't put any of these helmets on, so I can't say if they're any good or not. But for me, if you're conscious of a black border either side, you're looking at a screen.
Yeah.
It's got to be all-encompassing VR, isn't it?
Yeah,
really.
that's the
idea, isn't it?
The screen needs to be wrapped some more or something. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I fear it's going to be a very expensive peripheral, and they never, you know.
The only thing that I can see it saving is the fact that if you live in a really small place, and you can play all of your PS4 games through the theatre mode, so you've got essentially a 5 metre TV.
Yeah, but the only thing that worries me about that is Sony themselves actually have had the cinema headsets for about 5 years now, maybe a bit more.
Oh yeah.
And then I remember when they first came out, people were saying about how amazing it's going to be for gaming. It's a very similar headset, in fact, when you actually look at it. You know, very sort of white and plasticky.
Yeah.
And it didn't take off. You know, you would have thought if it was amazing having this 80-inch telly or whatever right in front of your face for gaming, so people would have a product would have come out of it, because people are about, this is the shit, every gamer needs one of these, fuck having a big TV.
Don't forget though, for movies it's different, because movies is a more social experience in the sense that you can
still plug, they've got AV outputs,
you
can still plug your consoles in, and people did it, you know, but it didn't translate to being this amazing experience, and I don't know, it's only my opinion, but I just don't think.
Well, do you know where I'm at with it? It's like, it seems like a very, 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 very expensive companion technology.
I'm waiting for you to buy one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it there, and then I'll complain about it some more.
It's like 350 quid, and then the thought of being sat in a room completely closed away from like the missus who might be shuffling around, or like any of your mates if they're around,
drawing a cock on the front of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You say 350
just
quid.
sticking things on the front whilst you're playing.
You say 300
fucking messages.
I'm a dickhead. I'm a dickhead. Unplug me.
Yeah, you got to buy one, Mark.
You say 350 quid. If you haven't got the Move controllers, a camera, a decent set of headphones, it ain't 350 quid. We're looking at more like 450 minimum. You know,
to get like everything to get you started with VR. Then we was talking about it last week. It was like 850 quid.
Yeah, something like that. It's not huge money,
including the console.
But it's less than the HTC setup.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it always is going to be that your PC. You can make it as powerful as you're willing.
The same way that a console that costs you 300 quid, you can spend 1,500 quid on a PC. Well, you're going to have to if you want to do any VR gaming.
Yeah, I mean they were doing Alien Isolation on the Oculus. I've been playing through that, and now that to me,
that's a game that's going to give you a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, see, this is where I think it's going to fall down. Is going to be the graphic strength. Maybe going back to this PS 4.5. Maybe this is what they're seeing. They're like, it's good, it works, but it's not. Everyone wants graphics now. Everyone wants it to
in
be
the same way that you could have almost like you had your Wii where you had all your crap shovelware.
Yeah,
and you had games, because porting games to the PlayStation 4 is not a difficult process for a lot of studios, so you can bring a lot of games that don't require that massive graphical power, but then your big powerhouse ones.
But then again, and all the naysayers be going, it's just indie games, and they'll start getting rich. I think they need a graphical boost for if the VR takes off, because I think it will lose momentum, because it will get sort of left behind.
So basically, if you're not in your like high-end VR world, then
don't see the point.
I don't see.
You are a man that likes to see the boundaries pushed with the graphical fidelity.
I think I think it's going to lose its like everything does. It will lose its shine after a bit, and you're going to need the graphics to keep you sort of the wow moments.
But don't forget though, every time a new generational console cycle comes through, or different graphics cards, and or like say a new controller, and everyone talks about how you can use it. The first wave of games is always really gimmicky and simple, and here's a few ideas how we can use it, and then it's once it starts to build.
This is
upon
my
that.
point. So once they find that and they find some good uses for it with good games, they have the good games, so then they can't push it any further. You have the wow moments of wow, it's VR, but there's not going to be any wow, look at that, it's beautiful. You know, like now when we put on a AAA game and you just sit there sometimes like, how have they done this? It looks amazing.
I don't know, I reckon when Gran Turismo Sport comes out, if you have a play on that and like Drive Clubs, that's a good looking game.
Yeah, but they're still not going to be, you know, a Tomb Raider standing on a mountain looking out I don't
think those kind of games personally for me suit it. I don't see the point
not
of
that
seeing
sort of game necessarily, but
a third person game. That's one thing that I can't see.
No, yeah,
loads of stuff's getting tacked on, and that's a problem for me.
I don't necessarily mean like a Tomb Raider style game, but just one of those graphical sort of wow moments.
Yeah, I don't know. VR's really got to sort of just grab me.
There's not that killer app.
Yeah, if there isn't something where I'm like, holy shit, that is going to change gaming for me, and you know, and I'm going to be there a lot more of the time. Then,
so it's just a lot of Wii Sports. Basically,
Well, this is the whole thing about moving around when you're gaming. Again, that was why I never got into Wii, because at the end of the day, if I'm playing video games, it's because I want to be sat on my butt playing video games with a controller in my hand.
The Wii was brilliant because every Wii player just about like, wait a minute, why am I standing up?
Yeah,
it works if I just works the same.
The Wii wank,
you know.
The waggling it off. Just one shake
in your crotch because you're sat back in the chair, waggling it off.
And also, there's still the extended game sessions. You know, no one's sat there for 3 days solid with a brand new game that they love playing with a VR headset on and coming out with a migraine and falling over with blood coming out of his ears.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've seen quite a few people with complaints about like it's great, but I just can't have straps around my head.
Oh, the sweat! Can you imagine the smell of that headset after a while? Teenage angst.
Well, you got like the Destiny sweats.
Do you ever remember them animal straps that you used to have for your watch?
Oh,
it used to smell like death because it used to suck up all the sweat. It would be like one of them after a week or two.
Nice second-hand headsets.
Second-hand rancid headsets.
Yeah, dirty. Right. Well, that seems like a good note to leave our beef on. Right. Let's bust our way over to the Uncharted territory.
I think so.
Uncharted territory voice. It's Mark's soothing Uncharted territory voice, which is where we walk off and wander around the grassy knolls of Uncharted territory. Right, so on the conversational list for this week is quite a near and dear one to us, I think. Something really integral for all gamers.
Yep.
What we got, Link?
Controllers.
I
suppose it's just a case of like was thinking about some of the old ones that I used. I remember starting like where it all began was with the zip stick. Does anyone remember those?
I don't know if I do.
Oh, no, but
horrible.
No, they were amazing. Sensible World of Soccer and a zip stick.
What was a zip stick?
It's just a
sticks.
Well, the little break.
Yeah, with the yellow button.
Oh yeah.
No, because they were brilliant. Because once you broke down a couple, there'd always be some good micro switches in them, and you could just take them apart and swap them out. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, I think it was a G-Con or something, big flight simulator.
Oh, little flight stick.
Deluxe, man. Yeah, little sticky pads on the bottom and everything, grimy and
amazing.
Lovely piece of kit.
I don't know. For me, like controller game. I mean, I first started on the Commodore 64, which was a big red joystick phrasing boom.
Big floppy thing that's got no...
It's actually quite sharp and just two buttons, left and right, at the front of it, which is completely awkward to get to. So you're like,
because up's that way, isn't it? Towards the buttons. You're like, what?
Yeah, control pads were a revelation.
Yeah. So the NES pad, that was it for me.
Oh yes.
The NES D-pad, obviously, or as it's just known, is the D-pad. Because it is still for me the best one.
Mega Drive. I was on the Mega Drive pad at first for a long time.
Yeah, I was
Super
Mega Drive.
Nintendo pad. That's to this day.
Yeah,
that was the first controller that I'd used.
The cross pad and that, mashing your thumbs up on Street Fighter.
But the thing is, after a while, I got used to it because it's still got quite curved. This is how geeky I am on this stuff. It was quite curved on the edges of the D-pad. Or if you look at ones like the Mega Drive, was just brutal.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Mega Drive was a horrible D-pad.
All of sort of from the Mega Drive onwards, all of Sega's were like finger destroyers. Do you remember the Dreamcast one?
Yeah, Dreamcast was horrible.
That was
the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
That is a good fighting game pad. It even
Yeah.
had the 6 buttons set out.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
for me.
You were showing us obviously one of your Xbox, was it just a Xbox 360 pad, was that?
The Street Fighter pad.
Yeah, with the old 6-button config,
Yeah.
decent D-pad.
You need them for Street
But
Fighter.
do you know what? I was just thinking about some other controllers, like some really. When you talk quirky controllers, immediately everyone goes Nintendo 64.
Still one of my favourite is the 64. The only thing that let it down was its completely ridiculously fragile analogues. That if you ever played one of the best games,
GoldenEye.
well, no. GoldenEye wouldn't mash it.
No.
Mario Party.
Yeah.
That game was designed to sell controllers.
Wiggle left and right, wiggle left and right.
No, round and round. Because obviously you develop as a gamer. Wait a minute. I could go round with my thumb, which is awkward, or I could just turn the controller upside down onto my leg and just go wham.
I remember
And then just go, oh, what's this floppy cock that's my analog?
we would play GoldenEye.
Flaccid analog.
Whoever had the newest controller could walk almost twice as fast as the other player.
That was a sneaky one.
Oh,
GameCube though, still for me the best analog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty sharp actually.
because you had behind it you had the 8 directions.
What about the Atari Jaguar with the foam pad at the bottom?
Never tried.
I was going to say it's like a proper 4x4.
Yeah.
We're talking about huge. The one that I thought there's two which really stood out in my mind, which was one, the Dreamcast one, where you had the
The
actual
little Tamagotchi
VMU
unit.
the actual memory
cards.
card which used to go in there.
That was good, that
But
was.
that was big controller. But the one which is even bigger is the original Xbox one.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
yeah.
Mammoth?
Chunky
And
monster.
those horrible, the horrible black and like the hard bean buttons.
Yeah.
They were just like, I'm going to press that. No, I don't want to keep pressing that. That's cane in my thumb.
The white and black. The small.
And the little ones on the random top. Yeah, it was awful.
Although the Mini, they did bring
The
out
S
the
one,
Mini.
the Xbox S controller for the Japanese market.
Still
I
quite a
remember-
nice controller.
I remember our local favourite import shop. They were making a killing on the imported controllers because everyone was buying them.
But do you know what? I was thinking about sort of which controllers are like the staple, the ones that you just always go back to. And for me, like the PlayStation one, I find just like it's just like I'm like all my Street Fighter combos and stuff like that. I'm used to doing on that controller.
No, see, I can't. I still. That's why I use the Fight controller. I can't use an Xbox controller for fight games. Although I've just got the Elite, and for games like Mortal Kombat, it's absolutely fine. I don't know with a Street Fighter because
of the D-pad.
Yeah, because it's got a nice D-pad on it. But I use the Fight ones because they're like a Sega Saturn controller.
The 6 button.
For me, that's you need the 6 button later. You either need an arcade stick or a easy access.
Yeah.
I don't like
I'd still say my favourite for single player games and just brilliant games was the GameCube controller. Like you say, I loved those, which nobody really ever actually utilised properly. Was the analog triggers
the slide
with the click behind it. With the
they're
digital
kind of
click.
quite deep and fun.
Yeah.
The amount of times I play games and where I'm like, why can't I do this? And then you'd click it in and be like, because there's another move behind that, which is just my stupidity. But they were really solid controllers. And they did the something bird, Wavebird,
Wavebirds,
which is the wireless version.
Yeah,
of
I've still got one.
Yeah.
I've still got one. I remember to take the batteries out before they melted through it.
But it's funny that there's some instances where they don't get, like, you can get a control system wrong, like Xbox did with their first machine, did a different size one. But there's other instances where you can't get it wrong, which is like, like a DS or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are always really solid, the buttons on them, the D-pads last
Nintendo
forever.
again. Nintendo make good controllers.
Yeah.
The quality, the D-pads always.
It goes back to the classic, just the SNES though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The SNES. If you were smart with your game and how you made it, those buttons were all you needed. I mean, you were playing Contra 3 the other day, and it just works so well. Just great games.
They don't tend to make any more. They used to make funky pads. Like, do you remember the Knights Nights into Dreams, or whatever it was called,
Yeah.
on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Yes.
It had its own controller.
Yeah.
They used to do stuff like that all the time, make sort of individuals. They don't
Like
do
bespoke,
things
controller for a game, yeah.
I guess, again, it's peripherals,
Well,
not...
I remember the last one that I remember was the mech suit one, which they redid. They did another one on the Xbox One. No, was it not the one? Was it the Xbox 360 with the awful Kinect controls? But the one on the original Xbox, it was like a £250 controller, and it was like three keyboards of buttons.
Oh.
Yeah, like the Battalion thing.
That's
as
it,
well.
still Battalion, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Huge, absolutely
hilarious.
huge. Yeah.
But I mean, there are certain instances where the right control system, I mean, that game, it makes that game. If you've ever played it, it's just like,
Sorry, Virtual On. Remember Virtual On? That was Sega Saturn. That had a similar sort of thing, like the control thing with joysticks and
two joysticks and
Oh yeah, that game was awesome. You're like, it was a bit like, it reminds me of that Vanquish. Remember that on 360?
Yes.
Mech robot sliding around.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good in the arcade.
But look at when they put the the second analog stick on the Vita. Yeah, that completely changed what a mobile gaming situation.
But they never utilised it. I had one of those. I hated them for that because it was such a beautiful machine.
But that's what kind of leads me on to the whole. This is what Sony does, right? They are amazing at making technology.
Yeah.
You look at their TVs, you look at the consoles. How much better looking is a PS4 compared to the Xbox?
Yeah.
It's so well designed. Yeah, it's a bit noisy, but it's really well designed. But the bottom line is they never do anything with their technology.
I think the PlayStation is probably the only thing they actually continue to push. It's the only department that's making any money.
I mean, it's been on multiple other podcasts where I've said, I bought this great bit of technology, it works great, and then there's no games for it.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with that Vita. I loved it. It was absolutely. I bought so many games as well, but I never was excited about anything that was coming out.
Yeah,
I think that that's what the difference I found with the Vita. It's the kind of games that you want to play on a big TV.
Well, the thing is, with the Vita, I had the fighting games, Street Fighter versus Tekken. It wasn't a brilliant version, but it was alright.
Yeah,
I was happy with that. All I wanted when that Call of Duty was going to come out, that was what broke my heart. I didn't care if it had a small story, if the graphics were a bit shit. I just wanted online shooter. I wanted to be able to do a team deathmatch, 16 people or something like that. On the go. I would have been happy as Larry, and they couldn't even get that right.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, really?
The one thing, what is it that your series is best and bought for? That's known for.
Even if it had no modes, just a team deathmatch, that's all I wanted. Just to play like the 360 or PS3 had been doing for the whole generation for 6-7 years of Call of Duty games.
Hell, what PCs back in when Doom come out?
Well, I remember on the PSP I had Battlefront or some sort of game.
Star Wars Battlefront on the
PSP.
PSP.
It was that was good. Yeah, it was a World War II shooter, and that was online. I remember playing that, thinking this is amazing.
Yeah.
And that was on one analog stick, and then using the face buttons as the other analogs. Which didn't work too badly.
Oh no, yeah, with the basically your front back, your WSAD.
Yeah. So I could use that because I'm quite familiar with PC.
Yeah.
So
sorry, just quickly bring me on controls. Apparently they have announced that they're going to do a mouse and a keyboard for the Xbox.
Oh really?
They've been talking about support for a while.
I really hope they do.
Yeah.
Because there's some games that I'm more than happy. A nice wireless mouse and a small keyboard. You just sit there like that dude off South Park. Your little wrist support and that. Yeah, I could. Yeah, some games it would be good.
I can also think of loads of instances, right, where you're saying about that fat guy just sort of slothing down, but also where people use certain techniques on controllers. I don't know if you've got any mates who you just notice do always hold the controller in a special way.
I go for some really weird sort of crab like beetle hands, wiggle my arms fucking technique when I'm doing like track and field games.
Like up here,
yeah, or any old way that I feel comfortable doing it at that moment. It's hilarious.
I use a particular technique called the vibro finger. For just
Yeah.
Well, I'm retraining the way I use a controller now that I've got that extra 4 buttons on that Elite. It's hard at the moment, but I'm sure if I become competent using those buttons, they've got to give me the advantage.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know?
Like, it seems like such a massive.
On Gears of War, I
hunt.
just had the 2 bottom ones on, and I.
We got relayed on the bottom.
No, I just had them
Oh,
set
like
to
the
left
button.
and right on the crosspad, so just change weapon between shotgun and lancer, and not having to, take your finger off of the left stick and go onto the.
Yeah, that's the one though. It's not taking you off the triggers and
it
the
made
and the
a
things,
big
isn't
difference. Yeah, I left everything else be, but I thought those two it did.
Yeah, that works.
It did work well.
So you excited about your new Elite controller?
Yes, very. Finally got one.
Do you think you're going to use all the programming stuff which comes with it?
Already done loads. I've already done a Gears one and a Star Wars one. We're
Wow.
going through my games and.
Nice. But talking about controllers, it's like, there was obviously the rumours earlier, or the pictures this week, obviously that have come out to be fake, which wasn't really much of a surprise, showing the NX controller.
Yeah.
But obviously looking at the patents there, and obviously that's pretty much a mock-up of the patents, which never really happens. That's never a final design.
What do you think?
Did
you like it?
Oh god, no, that was awful. The Hey Arnold controller. But just, what do we think? Like,
it looks like they're going for a screen again, doesn't it? The same sort of thing as the Wii U. I just fear it'll be underpowered, and I think that's Nintendo's problem at the moment, because everyone's so bothered with keeping the same multi-plats. As long as you've got to have your exclusives, and you've got to be able to have all the multi-plats, and if you're the worst at the multi-plats, then you're just
gonna die.
Yeah,
and
Nintendo, according to the internet anyway.
Nintendo, Nintendo, and obviously they don't have enough studios internally that you can knock out games.
No, they need a nice. It just needs to be.
Well, this is why they're going into mobile.
Well, if they just make it, I don't understand why they don't just make it. I don't know. A more powerful one. If it was more powerful than the PlayStation 4, all the butthurt people on the internet, and then they'll be moaning saying, "Oh yeah, but you can't get any games on it."
Which is probably why the PS is going for a PS 4.5.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. I think because someone's going to sooner or later, aren't they? Nintendo's got something coming out, and they've both been rumbling about both of those companies putting out an extra powered one. So someone's going to come up with something more powerful soon.
Even if neither of them plan to do anything about it, you can guarantee that they are now.
Yeah, that's it. They've all egged each other onto it, haven't they?
Yeah,
Someone
exactly.
will drop something.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, maybe I will. Go on then.
But I mean, a lot of people have been moaning, saying, "Oh, well, it's just going. You may as well get a PC and everything." But I think that argument is completely invalid, because I've got a PC. I tried PC gaming, and the only reason I don't do PC gaming, nothing to do with the communities or anything else. It's all
fuck the community.
Yeah, it's all the bullshit you got to go through.
Yeah, the drivers. And
yeah, I mean,
like, oh, here you go, Nvidia. You thanks for this new driver. Oh, what's that? All my graphics cards literally burnt out.
Well, this is it. Every game that I got, I found myself more interested in the first couple of hours about seeing what graphics I could push out of it and how it looked if I turned this on and turned that off. Whereas, I mean, even the Xbox, it's a bit shit having to install a disc for about 40 minutes or whatever it is, or download the game. But once that's done, you just turn it on. Yeah. There's a standard. All the games are going to come out for it. And that's it, and that's why I think it's completely invalid argument.
Like you say, PC gaming is for me if you want to get a VR headset, because if you're gonna,
well, a PC's a computer. It's not just for gaming, is it? Even if it's made to do gaming on, it still does all the other stuff. You can't. I mean, you can use Steam and stuff, but now Windows 10 has started trying to muscle in on it. You're still stuck between the two, and you're still going into a.
You've got Origins and all that.
But as a peculiar segue back to the topic, actually, the reason why I never PC gamed before was because of controllers. Yeah. Now it's not an issue anymore, but I feel like I'm too bedded in.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
You've spent too much on GTA for one.
Yeah, I can't walk away from that.
And the other thing, I mean, like I say, I'm not really bothered about the communities and everything, but when I played on PC, it felt a very solitary sort of thing. I tended to play through the stories of games rather than going on to online.
The problem for me for PC though is, unless you're on the bleeding edge, you're always at a disadvantage.
Yeah, this is
because someone who potentially is running like you say 1440 versus your 1080.
Yeah,
they've got a better draw distance.
And it became more of a thing because you've got the settings on every game that you can sort of put up and put down. It became a big part of it. Whereas it just wastes time, really.
Yeah, I just want plug and play experience. I'm not really interested in fucking around.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll ever. They can still keep making consoles. But upgradable consoles. Yeah, it does sound like a PC, but
sounds expensive.
Well, yeah, but if you could say they made another one which had a pull-out GPU or whatever, so that then you can upgrade it and it'll have a new.
I'll be on the pre-order right now.
Yeah, and that would last. They could bring out a new one every couple of years, keep it completely backwards compatible, so that everyone's got the current ones.
150 quid for an upgraded GPU, and then if you say you don't play a lot of games,
the new one first though.
Yeah.
And I think they would have to play it carefully, as in at least for the next sort of 3 or 4 years, all of the games for the new one would have to be available for the old one, just at a lower graphical setting. I think if they start saying this will only work on the 1.5 straight away,
it worked out for the 64, didn't it?
Yeah, but I just think everyone would be. Well, I suppose they've been around for how long now? 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. I think people.
So if you're talking 2017, it would be 4 years for, like, say, a PS 4.5 update, or like you say, the next one could be the next range.
I don't think it will be 4K gaming. It won't be cheap enough if they're talking about it now.
That'll, like you say, it'll be either a VR bump, because you might get like a 2 times performance boost.
I would like to see 1440, 60, as a sort of a standard. But we'll probably get 1080 60.
I was going to say, that's probably the only standard.
But then, to be honest with you, with the quality of the games that are being made at the moment, I mean, I was watching videos on that Quantum Break, and everyone was bitching about
the 720.
720 something resolution that goes on. It looked amazing to me,
It's amazing, I don't care.
That's it. If that then gets put all of that to 1080p and at 60 frames a second, that's fine. I'll go and buy another one, and I'll. I mean, as long as it's completely, as long as everything that I've got on the one now, I will instantly be able to download on my new 1.5 and continue playing and buy the new stuff. Otherwise, then that's a different story. But I think
Microsoft
they have to.
They're now moving into that ecosystem Apple territory thing, aren't they?
That's why I've moved on from the 360, which I've got a lot of digital games on the 360 anyway, and now I've got a lot on the Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
I can't go away from it. I could get a PS4 as well, but hundreds.
I must admit, I've got a bit of regret now not buying a lot of digital stuff, that I don't now own all that backwards compatible stuff.
Yeah, I've gone back and bought a few, but a lot of them have been cheap. If it's under a $5, I'm
You're a sucker for it.
Yeah, I bought Kane and Lynch 2 the other day. That was a brilliant game.
Yeah,
it was £4.50, I think, or $4.99, one of the two. But yeah, it was under a $5, so yeah.
Half through that, get some achievements.
Yeah. And I bought. It's not on backwards compatibility, but hopefully it will. I bought Batman Arkham City. I think the second one on 360 for £3.94.
Nice bargain.
Yeah,
that's even worth bumping the old 360 back on for.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got one upstairs. So yeah.
Cool. Well, as always, we've managed to go off on some proper tangents, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah, what were we talking about again?
That is what our uncharted territory is all about: getting lost in the grassy plains of random gibberish. So there we are, folks. Wrapping up. Jedi, thanks for joining us. Some good convo this week. Feeling that?
Yes. Thank you very much.
And Link. How are you feeling about today? Do you enjoy our topics?
Yeah, we stumbled through it.
Rumbled and stumbled our way through, as we always do. Okay, so from Blake, it's...
Adios.
And from the only Link, it's...
Well, goodbye, I guess.
Goodbye.